Is this thing on? It says so. Wait for some folks to join. Hi, everybody. Anybody here yet? I think they're starting to trickle in. There's one. I have a 90-second chat delay on, guys. 90-second chat delay today. The last time I didn't do a chat delay, and it kind of got a little wild. Hi, everybody. Hello. Greetings from Deutschland. Guten Tag. Hi, guys. Welcome. I have no plan for today's live stream. I just kind of felt like doing one. It's been a while. It's been, I think, like 2-3 months. Hello. Welcome, everyone. Y'all are pouring in. That's awesome. Good evening. Good evening to Georgia. From Amish country. You're not supposed to be on a phone. Just kidding. Did you guys hear about all those Amish guys that got caught with cell phones because of that alert thing that went off on Tuesday? Did you guys hear about that? I saw some videos about it. Apparently some Amish folk were ousted for having cell phones because the emergency alert broadcast made their phones go off in their pockets. And the same thing happened in the prisons also. I read that prisoners got caught with cell phones because the emergency alert made their phones go off at the same time. Then they all got raided. Mickey, thank you. Mikey, is it Mikey? Mikey or Mickey? I'm going to call you Mikey. Missing Caster Troy. Yeah, he had to go do his thing. Maybe he'll show up in the live stream. We might see him in the chat. I don't know. Do I know any hacks for cleaning your hands? Yes. It's called Lava Soap, Lava. It's a bar of soap. I think WD-40 makes it, or it says it's got like a WD-40 logo on the thing. It's in a red wrapper. It's very hard to get. It used to be plentiful, and it did wonders for cleaning dirt and oil and stuff off your hands, but it's getting harder to get now. Any plans for my 1-year anniversary of the shop? We are so busy. I don't know. We didn't really plan on anything for the 1 year. We are going to SEMA at the end of this month. Maybe we can. That can be an annual celebration. We can do that. Wife unit's home. She's here. I'm at home. I'm on my back porch. I think she's inside. How do you remove a stripped oil pan bolt? Like the drain plug bolt, you can try to, is it stripped off at the head or is it stripped at the threads where it's rounding off inside of the pan? If it's stripped off at the head, you can maybe weld a big nut to the bolt and then use that nut to break the bolt loose, or get some very, very aggressive pliers. But you probably, if it's stripped out that bad, you should probably get a nut welded to it. That might do it. Doc, thank you. Thanks, Doc. Appreciate you. Did some customers follow me for my last job? They did. Yes, I had several customers that visited the previous place of employment, and they have now come with. Yes. Scrap metal. I pile all my scrap metal up. Somebody, William asked what I do with my scrap metal from the shop. I pile it all up in a trailer, and then when that trailer is full, I take it out to the recycling place and dump it off. Yeah, you heard the kiddos. They're running around the backyard. It's a kind of a cool day out. It's 74 this afternoon. So yeah, I've got the kids outside. No TV. I've banned screens from the children during daylight hours. So I think it's probably best. How's the Dirty Max? It's a bigger project than what I thought it was going to be. We pulled off the dash to pull the HVAC box out of my truck, and then found that all of the insulation behind the dash was just turning into powder and it's coming apart. So I have to insulate the entire interior with something new, and I can't get the factory insulation panel. I found the part number for it, but it is discontinued and nobody has one. Russ asked, any plans in the building? It's not my building. I'm renting the space that I'm at, so I can't make plans for the building. I'd like to acquire the building. Hello, kitty. Get off the computer. She does that. Come here, Gato. Walking on my screen. No, hang on. I can't grab it. Come here. There. The doodly doos. I can't, Jerry, I can't find, I actually wanted to kind of get a phone ringer that makes a similar sound, and I cannot find one, and I don't know the manufacturer of the last phone ringer. So I cannot replicate the doodly doos. Not right now. I'm working on it. If I find that phone ringer again, then yes, El Gato is the director. If I can find that phone ringer again, then I will put another doodly doo loudspeaker in the shop just for old time's sake. The Pentastar oil cooler, the OE or the Dorman. Okay, so the OE Pentastar oil coolers, that's the one in the valley between the two cylinder heads. It's got coolant flowing through it, and it's got oil flowing through it, and it also houses the oil filter. The OE ones and some of the aftermarket ones are plastic, which is the same design, but Dorman makes an all aluminum one, and I tried that on a Chrysler 200 like a month or so ago. And I found it to be a much better and robust looking piece of equipment. So I would actually prefer the aluminum Dorman cooler as opposed to the plastic one. So if you need to replace it, I would replace it with the aluminum one. Carl asked me if I ever used my parts cleaner station, and that is no, I don't use it because it is a Harbor Freight parts cleaner. And when I bought it, I didn't use it for like 3 months, and I went to use it and I filled the thing up and found out that the pump does not pump. So I have a parts washer and I have a pump that does not work. It's low on the priority list, so I did not go get another pump. Amaya says this is boring. Really? Hey, Troy's here, you guys. Check it out. Look, Troy's Auto. There he is. Hi, Troy. Why is Amaya trolling me from behind your keyboard, bro? What is that? Tell her to come out here and tell us it's boring all by herself. Yeah. Yeah, I see you in there lurking. Troy be lurking in the background. Do I ever hear from my former job? No, I don't. Nope, haven't talked to him since I left. Tyrannosaurus Roy. Troy, dude, you're a hit, man. Everybody's saying hi. That's great. Friends always trolling you. That's how it is. Cliff's in here, too. He should be trolling anytime soon. Cody's here. CP's Garage, he's here. Cody, will you text A-Rod and tell him that we're in a live? I didn't tell him we were doing this. Troy's departure was not a Jeep thing. No, not a Jeep thing. I do not do windshields. That's a negative. I am not Safe Light, and I do not want the liability of glass. It's not so much that I can't put a windshield in. I just don't want to have to do it again if it leaks. The worst car ever made. That's a matter of perspective. A-Rod's here. What's up, brother? Safe Light repair, Safe Light replace. You can't hear me? Nobody told me that. You can hear me. Yeah, it's you, Cliff. Cliff's trolling me right now. Yep, it worked too. Ding dong. I was going to say, I hope you can hear me. I've been sitting here talking for like 10 minutes, and if you guys can't hear me, then I'm going to feel really stupid. Good. Cliff's over there rolling, laughing, I bet, because he knows what he just caused. You can hear me in my head, Chuck. That's kind of cool, actually. Yeah, I've infiltrated your crane branium. Hope I don't need dealer parts anytime soon with the strike. Yeah, I'm not educated enough to take a position on either side of this strike. But the fundamentals tell me that there's always somebody who pays for things like this, and it's usually not the people responsible for it. And that's all I got to say about that. Yes, most of my customers see my vehicle repairs because most of my customers watch the channel. So yeah, most of them definitely see the repairs on the cars if I made a video about their car. I make videos. It depends. Some cars I don't get to make a video on, and some cars I end up making 4 videos on. It just it's organic, and however that works out is however it works out. Happy Thanksgiving. We have to get through like Halloween first, right? And then I'm confused because Walmart already has the Christmas stuff up, so I'm not sure which season or holiday we're in. Do customers ask if you're allowed to wait? Do I ask if I'm allowed to video my customers' vehicles? Yes. Yes, they are aware that I make videos about their car, and it's part of my disclosures in my work order where I get to pick and choose if I choose to make a video or not. For example, if somebody brings me their car and they want me to make a video on it, and I can't be bound on they bring me the car in order to make a video. I do work on cars, and that's my business, and I'm there to repair their car, and I get to selectively choose whether or not I make a video about it or not. There's some cars that I record and make videos and never even publish them because I just didn't like how it went. Some of the customers are local, and some people do travel. I've had folks come from Miami, Tallahassee, Georgia, South Carolina, and then a bunch of them just from Bradenton, which is where I'm at, and of course, neighboring cities, Sarasota, Tampa, Clearwater, things like that. Is Mr. Dave in here? I don't know if Dave's here. Sorry, Troy, I don't know if Dave's in here. I don't think he is. He watches YouTube in the morning, and it is not the morning, so I don't think Dave's here. Dave, are you here? If you're here, man, let us know. That way we all can say hi, Dave. Actually, if we all say hi, Dave, right now, he'll probably see this live stream tomorrow morning, so then he'll get to watch, and then he can hear us all tell him, hi, Dave. Dave's not here, man. Where's Dave, man? Do I ever hear from Pita? Negative. I have not heard from Pita since he left the last place that we worked at once upon a time. He went on to go work at another store for some more money, and I don't know where that is, and I have not heard or seen from him since. Hi, Dave. The Subaru done and gone. The Subaru is almost gone. It's mostly done. I have to put another thermostat in the Subaru, though. It likes to get hot at idle with the fans running. And the fellow that owns it said that he had that problem with it once upon a time, and they had to put in a thermostat that opened at a slightly colder temperature. So I'm still tinkering with the Subaru. Dave's still not here, man. Hi, Dave. Why is Troy left? Because he had other priorities to handle. That's why Troy left. I made a story time in that video, finishing up the F-250. I had a story time moment intermission like halfway through. It was like an hour and a half long video from yesterday, and I talked about Troy and his departure. Can I work on a 1980 Cadillac Seville? I did not realize 1980 Cadillac Sevilles were still in existence. I can probably work on it unless it's a North Star that's leaking oil, because I don't want to work on North Stars. No offense to your Cadillac or anything, but just North Stars are a whole nother animal. I don't do it. Thank you for the wife unit donation. She deserves it. Did the VTEC just kick in? Vroom vroom. Yes, Troy has left the building. He's still in the chat, but he no longer is working at the shop. Your 6.7 has VTEC. It'd be awesome. Did you mean Finland or Funland? I mean, Funland sounds better than Finland. I think you meant Finland because your super chat is in euros. Make North Stars. North Stars are, yeah, they're squishy. They're made out of aluminum, and they didn't hold up too well. I skipped yours. Hang on. N8. Where's Nate? Where'd you go, Nate? Did I skip you? I don't see you. Sorry, man. Cody, you can come over and work, man. You're close enough. Drive down here. You can take Troy's spot. Do it. Jay, how's it going? Hi, Larry. Greetings from Egypt. Well, I do a Drainville and a CVT Subaru Forester. I think I can. I don't really like to do drain and fills. I think drain and fills are kind of a half measure, and I have the really nice machine that does high quality fluid exchanges. I would prefer to do a fluid exchange rather than a drain and fill. But hey, you're the boss. I'll do what you want, but I can do it. The Chrysler 2.7. Yeah, that one. You did a water pump, time chain. What else did you do? It's still running hot. Does it have a blown up head gasket? On a cold start on that 2.7, like let it sit overnight so it cools off. Go outside, do a cold start, and let it run for like 15, 20, 30 seconds, and then go out and then take the radiator cap off before anything heats up. If there's pressure under that cap, when you take it off, it could be combustion gases, and it may have a cylinder head gasket leak. If you did all that work and it still is running hot, it could have a head gasket problem. Do I ever do remote consults and troubleshooting? You have a 2000 Jeep Cherokee 4.7. I have toyed with the idea of doing remote troubleshooting. It's something that might be in the works. I know I haven't done anything like that in the past. I'd have to organize it and kind of set up an office and a station in a time frame just dedicated to something like that. I was toying with the idea of doing a podcast on that subject, but it's not something I'm actively doing right now. But it's a possibility. Myself and some others might undertake something like that. So maybe later. It's all about time. Time's a big deal. Do I regret not starting my business sooner? No, I've been starting and failing at my own business for almost 10 years. None of it was ever automotive. I've tried other things before. No, I don't regret it and not doing it sooner, because I had a lot to learn along the way. And I think if I had tried my own shop 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago, I wouldn't have the experience and the knowledge to pull it off right now. So I think the timing worked out just like it should, and I do not have regrets. One of my things in life, I don't like to go around regretting things that did or didn't work out, because all those things, they change our direction in life, And that's the kind of, we don't realize, like the butterfly effect, we don't realize just how impactful a failure might be or a success might be. And so I don't like to live with the idea of having regrets, because you can't change the past, and all we can do is learn from things that are mistakes. And I think that's the positive that should be the takeaway. Elon Musk learns from his mistakes. I would hope so. Guy builds rockets and stuff. My first car was a 1982 Jeep Cherokee. I forget what engine it had. It was not the 4-cylinder. A Dodge Omni? We had a Dodge Omni when I was a kid. Yep, I've seen a Dodge Omni. I've ridden in a Dodge Omni. A Stance Civic from Jacksonville. Man, you're killing me. A guy brought me, I don't, it's like squatted trucks. I mean, you do you, boo-boo, but it's not my forte. I'll work on it, though. Why not? Only if you let me make fun of it some on a YouTube video. How's that? Then I will work on a Stance Civic from Jacksonville. But I get to clown on your wheels a little bit. Just a little bit. Oh, my dream car. That's what Nate asked me. I don't know. I don't know what a dream car would be. I don't like the super exotics like Lamborghinis and Bugattis. It's not something that I'm like, oh, I wish I had a 1,000 horsepower Lambo or whatever. It's just, it doesn't really appeal to me. It's too flashy and shiny. And I mean, I like shiny things, but I don't like, it's just way too flashy. And then you get into like the luxury cars, but I'm the kind of person that would hop in a luxury car with dirty feet and ruin it. So I don't really, for me, I need practicality. I like things that are practical. Thanks, George, for the beer money. So I don't really know if I have a dream car. I kind of see them as a tool, and I see cars as having some kind of a purpose. And it's a depreciating asset, number one. So it's not something that you want to work yourself towards, because you could save up money and get your dream car, but then in 5 years, it's worth half as much as it was when you paid for it. So it's not a thing that it's smart in any way to seek out a dream car. It's just, I'd rather have a boat. So my dream car would be a boat. How about that? My dream car is a boat with diesel engines that has an air conditioner inside of it, kind of like a floating condo. Maybe a boat that launches smaller boats out of it. Chris, thank you for the super chat, sir. Thank you. Mr. Reed. I missed a couple messages back there. The hardest repair I've ever done. Yeah, I got the first time I did a timing chain job on a Cadillac 3.6. It's a dual overhead chain design, or dual overhead cam, and it has like two or three chains in there. And we had to put a head on this thing. It had a valve leak, and both of the camshafts, the intake and the exhaust cams, had the same number cast into them, but they were different camshafts, and I got them switched around by mistake. And I put the exhaust cam on the intake cam side, and then the intake cam went on the exhaust cam side, and it ran like garbage, and it took like 2 weeks to figure it out. And I had to pull it all back apart and do it again. It's like a 14-hour timing chain job. So I made a huge error and had to do the job twice. I did not love my job that day. I do need more work on 4Runners. There are not many 4Runners left. I like 4Runners. How many hours a week? I own my own business now. I work all day, every day, 7 days a week, with little breaks inside. Like, I'm technically working right now. So I actually don't quantify how many hours I spend on work things. It's just, you don't think about it anymore. I'm no longer punching a time clock. It's everything I do is to just kind of either further the business or promote the business or If I'm not doing that, I'm making some content, and then I have got to dedicate time for real life stuff like sleep and eating and hanging out with the family. It's you've got to do 10,000 things at once, but you got to compartmentalize everything. That way, something doesn't take priority over the other. Everything has to have some kind of a schedule. Raven is watching the stream. Cute. That's CP Garage's daughter. She's a wee little baby. How much does it cost to run the shop per month? I don't know off the top of my head. It's not cheap. I mean, you've got uniform people, laundry people, electric bill, rent, insurance, other insurance, subscriptions. The list kind of goes on and on. It's payroll. I draw payroll. My wife draws payroll. Dave draws payroll. Sorry, Troy, if you're still here, he doesn't draw payroll anymore. But it's more than $10,000 a month just to be there. Yeah, wife, she knows. I don't know. She does that stuff. That's why she's the boss. What's the best way to learn how to fix cars? Find a shop somewhere and walk in and ask them for a job. Somebody will hire you to do something, and show up with good work ethic and be honest, and people will teach you. And when you make money, go buy some tools and use your tools to learn more things, and then repeat that cycle. Be honest, take your money, spend it on things that make you more money, grow your skill, rinse and repeat. Am I ever going to race at the Freedom Factory? I don't have a race car. I know it is right down the road. I drive past it twice a day, but I don't have a race car. I have a truck and a minivan and a Tahoe. Someone just asked what's with the Tahoe. That is my Tahoe. I bought a Tahoe. The problem is Lauren's van would break down at the complete most horrible wrong time imaginable. And it was a huge problem that happened more than once because the alternator kept burning up and the battery kept dying. And then the ECM broke, and then it had a ignition coil that failed twice because one of them was an aftermarket one, and that didn't last very long. And I got so tired of having the day ruined and having my kids stranded somewhere because the van was broken that we bought the Tahoe. And this is where it gets funny. We bought the Tahoe to replace the van, and then my wife loved the Tahoe until she had to put gas in it, and then she went back to her van. So now I'm driving the Tahoe because my truck is in pieces in the shop, and that's how that has transpired. Monty has a question. What's up? Quick. Go, go, go. Ray doesn't bug me anymore? What do you mean I don't bug you anymore? I'm bugging you right now. Everything is a hammer. Yes, or it can be a hammer. The problem is if you use the wrong things as a hammer, you might break the thing that you thought was going to be a hammer. Like you can't use your phone for a hammer to break it. So there's limitations to that. There are limitations. The interior work on the Duramax, I had to order some insulation panels because I found all the insulation behind the dash was starting to fall apart. I don't name my trucks. No. To me, they are machinery, and I don't like the idea of naming machinery because it gives it personality, but only in your head. And I don't think that's, I don't know. It's weird for me. It's just not my thing. No, Cliff, I'm not using any side of the phone as a hammer. No. I can call it truck unit. Yeah, that works. But people name their car Becky or Steve. I don't know. People give vehicles human names and they treat it like it's a person, and it's not a person. Thank you for responding on channel from comments. I try to especially respond to comments where I notice folks comment often. It's really hard to do because there's like 1,000 comments in every video. So it's really hard to hit everybody, but I really do try. I think I can keep track of names and faces long enough to at least make the effort to recognize it. And if the comment isn't ridiculous, there's some stuff that's actually nonsensical and I don't understand. But if it's not ridiculous, then I totally try to respond to those. Yep, the evaporator is getting replaced in the truck because the dash is apart, and the heater core, and I ordered some blend doors. Okay, hang on. Let me back up. We'll talk about Cletus's Leroy with his Corvette. I get that he did name the Corvette Leroy. That's kind of like what I'm talking about, but I think Leroy is more of a character on the channel rather than, this is my car, Leroy. I mean, if I went around and I introduced people to vehicles by their first name, that would be weird. So I think Cletus gets a pass on that one because it's more of like a character. It is a feature of this program rather than he doesn't see them as a person. I think that's what my beef is looking at a piece of machinery like it's a person and giving it personality. What about my car? The carpet. I have new carpet for the truck, but I'm on pause because I have to redo the insulation. Please. Blair asked about tell me more things to quote go in your home. The go into your home. I mean, all right. So I try to really not play out catchphrases too much. If it's organic in the moment and that's how I feel, because I don't script what I'm doing and I don't plan it out. And if something's frustrating me where I'm like, you're almost there, just go in the thing, just go. Then that may warrant a go in your home kind of moment. What I do is I take the stress of the moment and I somehow will turn that into a joke. And that's the stress mechanism for me. And so if I'm telling something to go into my home, that's a better alternative than F you, like you're gonna die. It's better than getting angry about it. So I'll make a joke about it. And then now I don't have to deal with the stress of, whatever that little problem is. That's why it needs to go into its home. You're too good for your home. Oh, there's Monty's question. I was waiting on it. I use quarts on metric cars. Now the U.S. quart, hang on. Now the U.S. quart is different to the imperial quarts. It's strong. I don't know if we quantify our fluids off of U.S. quarts or imperial quarts. I think those are really, really close. But even on metric cars, our fluid quantities are usually by the quart, so it just gets converted over. I understand you guys' like user manuals will do things in liters, but they will calculate our measurements in quarts just because that's what we use. And there's no time limit on post, but there is a 90-second delay in the chat. Otherwise, the chat would just go stupid fast, and I would not be able to come close to reading any of it, because there's like 1,200 people in here right now. I got a 50% like button conversion. That's pretty good. 1,200 folks and 547 like buttons. Awesome. Didn't even ask. Oh, James just called it out. You slackers, hit the like button. No excuses. Thanks, James. James is backing me up in here. Powers and grounds. Yep, always check your powers and grounds. If you have intermittent problems with something, check your powers and grounds for sure. Pull your fuses out too. Make sure that there's no corrosion. Russian accent voice? Again, another stress coping mechanism. I am not Ruski. I don't know if right now is a good time in the world to be doing Russian accent voices, though. Too much political turmoil. What's your take on electric cars? Man, electric cars are really cool. And I think that the free market would have no problem assimilating electric cars into society. And I think that we are neglecting our basic needs right now regarding that agenda. And I think we're moving too fast because I don't think the average consumer is prepared to buy $80,000 electric vehicles. And I think a lot of other people don't like the idea of, for lack of a better phrase, feeling forced to get into electric equipment. And so they're shunning away from it. And I think there's too many bugs in the systems right now to make it as reliable as we would like. And I think time and the free market will have the ability to assimilate those without a problem, but we're going a little bit too hard. And they're not for everyone. And, you know, nobody's going to get into an electric car and drive halfway across the country. You're not going to do that. Not with any kind of efficiency. We're just not there yet. And they're just not for everybody. I mean, I do truck things, and an electric truck would not work out for me. I can't tow a 16,000 pound trailer with an electric vehicle. Can't do it. What I think would be really cool, though, is if we had small displacement efficient diesel generators, like a small diesel engine that would run just like what we have with the hybrids, an efficient turbo diesel that runs a generator that can power electric drive units and has a fairly large capacity battery in there somewhere that could mitigate high demand usage or even be a power assist. We have all the technology there. I just don't think we're doing a good job of implementing it properly. And hydrogen would be a really good. Edison Motors, yep. Exactly what Edison Motors is doing. That guy out west that built that logging generator truck. That's exactly what I'm talking about. It's efficient, it's cheap, it'll work, it reduces fuel consumption, and it does introduce more modern technology. So there was I read this article, I guess, don't quote me on the state. It was like Pennsylvania or Indiana, somewhere not here. They were building, I think Panasonic was building an EV battery power plant or a battery production facility, and they had to build they have to build their own coal power station just to power the facility. The DeLorean was pretty cool. Yeah, it was really cool to get a hold of a car like that. That was a kind of a special treat. People got mad at me for making that DeLorean video. They said I was trolling them because I made a fake diag. How many modules in a 1997 5.7 Firebird Formula convertible two-door? I don't know. A 97, there can't be many. There's one or two modules in that car. A lot of Chevy Volt people here. Volts and bolts. I like the idea of electric assisted diesels. Yep. Small displacement, efficient 6-cylinder diesel running a generator with electric drives. It's a hybrid diesel electric. And it's not even new technology. Do you guys know that? They've been running diesel electric for years in the heavy equipment and mining industry and in locomotives, like the trains. They run diesel electrics. And it is a hybrid, yes. See, my other thing on the electric car situation is how much is involved in the battery production. That lithium is, and I think was it lithium, cobalt, and a few other rare metals. It's not a nice process to extract and process that materials. And I think that what we're doing when we look at these EVs is we're going, oh, look, no tailpipe emissions. That's perfect. And nobody wants to take into consideration the cost of actually producing the batteries for those vehicles. We're just looking the other way because it's not happening in our own neighborhood. It's happening across the ocean. And I think we're just ignoring it, and that's not okay because it's a fallacy. It's just like the wind turbine business. We ran around erecting all these wind turbines all across the west coast of the country, and now they're all piled up in fields because the turbine blades have they've reached the end of their lifespan, and they don't know what to do with them. So they take the turbines down, they throw the blades in a pile, and then they bury them. So how environmentally friendly is that to have thousands and thousands of acres with junkyard wind turbines piled up in them? Same thing with the batteries. Bearded Vortex here. What's up, Anthony? And yep, Paul said something about how much pollution to make the batteries. Like that's the problem is we're not addressing and paying attention to that when we really should be at least considering that. It's like we're throwing all of our eggs in one basket, and we don't care if we're throwing in rotten eggs. Yeah, I get that the blade story is an old story. I understand that, but that doesn't mean that it's not happening. And my point is that this stuff does happen in other parts of the world, and we're ignoring it. You're drinking the Mexican Cokes? Ha! I went to Costco and I got 3 cases of them. The ones in the bottles, not the cans. But yeah, the issue is, man, and I understand the wind turbine thing it's an old story, like I was saying, but I'm speaking on a conceptual level. For example, if let's say our country over here, let's say we spend $50 billion this year to reduce landfill space from tires in our country, right? That's fine. That's great. We're not throwing tires in landfills. But at the same time, we can ignore another country that sets fields of them on fire. You see, it's a conceptual issue, and we can't have one side of this suffering so the other side is free to do whatever they want. It's almost like people in the United States are feeling like they're paying the environmental cost of everybody else doing whatever they want. And it's our fault because we buy that crap. So if we stop buying things from the countries that do the things that we feel are the worst, then they will not have the resources to continue doing those things. And I think we act like a bunch of hypocrites on that front because we're outsourcing our pollution. We're just looking the other way. Yeah, exactly. It's a not in my backyard mentality. So here, I'll tell you what, I won't dump my sewage in my yard. I'll just run a pipe over to the neighbor's yard and I'll dump my sewage over there. That's all that we do. I don't know if they did a study on the wind turbine effect of the Earth's orbit. I'm pretty sure that's not okay. Not going to work. Hi, Gary. Thank you for the super chat, sir. Thank you. Luigi, another 3.1 diesel in an Opel puts out 82 miles per gallon. Yeah, see, that's environmentally friendly. Booyah. Luigi has a small car, and it does not have a lot of mass to it. That's the other thing, is how heavy are the cars that we're driving around. So my dude's got a very lightweight car with a very small engine, and it gets him from point A to B, and he gets better fuel economy than a lot of motorcycles. No lithium was harmed in the making of his Opel. So going to get banned for running my mouth about EVs. Make batteries from nuclear waste so it lasts forever? Bro. It's a good idea. Yes, James, the sewage was a metaphor. We are talking about cars. Rewind it and go watch it again. You'll see. Scotty's still going. I'm fine. All right, I'll take that. Has he been running his mouth about EVs? Scotty? Hello, Minnesota. See, the problem with hydrogen in cars is they have to hand over control of hydrogen to the general population. And hydrogen is kind of volatile and explosive. So I don't think that the average person should be riding around with a bunch of hydrogen. It's someone's going to blow up. Has the UAW strike affected getting parts? Not yet. Actually, it might. I hopped on Rock Auto the other day, and I was looking for new old stock GM parts for the interior on my truck, and I found that supply is diminishing even from Rock Auto. So I'm pretty sure that if the UAW strike is going to start affecting the aftermarket, it already has, because people either they've depleted the inventory just through normal operation, or they went out and bought up everything that they could, anticipating a supply shortage. They could have done that, or there just is no more parts. We're not sure yet. Parts have been 3 months out. That's been normal since 2019. Like, I don't really think our industry is going to care, because we've had supply chain crisis for 3 years now, coming up on 4 years. Like, I think we're kind of used to it. Pokey Fan has a 2000 Corolla that can hold a vacuum on the AC system. AC comes on and dumps the pressure, clicks off. Where's the pressure dump out of? Die in the stream. Can't find the leak anywhere. You replaced the condenser, huh? I bet you it's got a leak in the evaporator. If you can't find a leak, so here's the thing about a vacuum test. Everybody goes, hey, it holds a vacuum. That means there's no leaks. Not really. That system is designed to hold pressure. It's not designed to hold a vacuum. Additionally, when you put it under vacuum, that's like 30 inches mercury. Well, when you pressurize it, you're putting 100 pounds to up to 300 pounds of PSI in it. Like, you click that system on and that compressor kicks on, it's going to run that high side pressure up to 250, 300 pounds just on startup. And then it's going to level out and settle down as the system equalizes. And then you're going to be running like a steady 225 to 250 PSI. So depending on what part of the system is, it's always under pressure. So a vacuum test is really not sufficient to tell you if it's going to hold refrigerant. What a vacuum test will tell you is, hey, when I put refrigerant in this, it's all not going to spew out everywhere. It basically tells you have everything connected properly. That's pretty much it. Unless you put it into a vacuum for like 2 days, then maybe that's legitimate. But then if it loses vacuum, how do you know if it wasn't the machine that leaked, or the fitting, like the connection with the hose, that could have leaked? So I don't really find vacuum tests to be the end all be all. I would check and see if you have an evaporator leak, though. What you want to do is charge it and then shut your blower motor off, put the windows up, go inside, and the next morning come back outside, click your blower motor to 1, and then key your ignition on so it turns your blower motor fan on. Don't start the engine, just key it on, and then smell your vent. If you smell, and you'll know it if you smell it, you'll smell a chemical odor at the vent. If you smell that inside of the cabin, you have an evaporator leak. After I finish the interior, what am I doing next on the truck? I don't know. Let me just get through this interior thing, because that was literally a 55-gallon bucket of worms that I opened. It's going to take a while. Hi, Dave. Jacob works in parts, and he's seen a lot of back orders already. Yep. The older you go, the harder you find. So here's the thing about those UAW strikes. Let's say there's 1 or 2 plants out there that they're making older production parts, stuff for 2008 Super Duty or a 2010 Chevy pickup or whatever. Well, when they go to reopen some of these plants, they might not reopen all the plants. And so it stands to reason that the plants that are not going to be reopened, if that were to transpire, would be the plants that that produce the older parts. Does that make sense? It's a possibility. So we may be at a point where we will no longer see new production older parts, because that's even a trend with brand new stuff. Sometimes we have a car that's 2-3 years old and there's already components that are discontinued on it. Do I buy cars to make repair videos and then sell the cars? Nope, I do not. I have never bought a car to make a video and then sell the car. I don't do that. I'm not a dealer. That's a lot of extra risk. I don't want to put that kind of time in. I might have a PT Cruiser for sale one day, though. I did buy that. I had a customer bring a PT Cruiser with it had bent valves. The timing belt broke, and pistons hit the valves, bent the valves, and I did buy that car. Yep, that little red Miata is still sitting out back. It's going to get repainted one day, and then they're going to sell it, but it's a back burner project. But we still do have the Miata. If you want to buy it, email me. It's for sale. It's not the best Miata. You need to be a Miata person to appreciate this Miata. Kind of like a Jeep. Speaking of Jeeps, Jeep Renegade is having a code for a knock sensor circuit low. Is it just the knock sensor? I don't know. Circuit low, low referring to low reference, and low reference is usually ground. So when that code says you have a circuit low, what it's saying is that circuit, instead of having some kind of positive feedback loop, it's no volts. There's nothing happening on that circuit. It's not a circuit high, which would be indicated of a disconnected plug or something like that, or a cut wire. So circuit low would indicate it's either shorted to ground or shorted internally, or potentially there's an issue with the ECM or the control unit. Definitely something you would want to have diagnosed. What you can do to check circuit low on that knock sensor, and if you have the ability to, is unplug the knock sensor and then unplug the ECM and then find the other end of that pin. There's going to be 2 pins on it. It should be a positive and a ground on it. And you want to do a resistance check on both of those at both connectors, one at the PCM and then one at the knock sensor. Resistance check both of those. And if those are okay, then you can hypothesize that the wiring is good. Also load test it if you're so inclined. Put a light bulb on it and run power through it. So at that point, if resistance checks are good on the circuits and you can load test it, you are left with the sensor, or you're left with a potential problem in the ECM. I would look at an ECM last, but you can look up resistance specs, I think, for the sensor. If or look up, you have to look up the procedure on how to test that sensor, and then test it according to the manual. And if it's out of specification, that's probably your circuit low code. More than likely it's a sensor, but it could be anything. You know, you could have wires that rub through and they're shorted together somewhere. You got to look at your wiring and inspect all that stuff first. Ray's live. How exciting. Yeah, I don't do many lives. I don't know. It's not my thing. I'm trying to get used to it, but I'm camera shy. So can I address your last chat? Sorry, Doc, I missed you. Didn't mean to. Hang on. Norby, thank you. Hang on. I got to go back to Doc real quick. Last super chat. Doc. Sorry, Doc. And if I skipped anybody else, I did not mean to. Doc, you're far away. Hang on, buddy. Scrolling back. Wow, that's way up there, dude. That was before Luigi and Gary. We were talking about EVs. I can't scroll back that far. Oh, no. Doc, type it again or copy and paste it, and I'll look for you in the chat, dude. I said, dude, I assumed. Yeah. I don't know if I should be assuming, but I did. The grin says different. What doesn't? Does not. Waiting. We're all waiting for Doc. Hang on. We have to wait 90 seconds. Doc. Someone found it. The creator console of YouTube is notoriously bad for retaining super chats. Yeah, it didn't do it. I'm really sorry, man. I'm looking for your chat though. I'm looking. I don't see it. Does anyone else see it? Doc, listen, man. If it doesn't show back up and I can't find it and I missed you, just email me, man, and I will get back to you. I promise. Kevin mode activated. Ray assumed something on a public forum. Eyes are glowing red. Freaking laser beams are shooting out. But Doc has the floor. What happened to the Chrysler with the blown up engine timing chain repair? I ordered a new engine for that Chrysler with the blown up Pentastar, and it is on its way. It's not a new engine. It is a pull-out engine with less mileage. Live every month or two. I mean, I was thinking of doing it on Sundays. It could be a good Sunday thing. Doc's question, and I state, Cliff found it, my man. High voltage code for an ignition control module on a 96 Cheyenne. Swapped it out, same issue. Ignition control module on a 96 Chevy Cyan. What's the code? Tell me what the code is. In fact, you know what? Hang on. Doc, I really actually do need you to email me that now. Email me the code. Email me the code, and I will see if I can look into it a little bit better. I'm going to want to pull up a wiring diagram. No, that does not mean bigger hammer. We don't take hammers to ignition modules. No, sir. No, we're not going to do that. Small hammers. We need a small hammer, like a pinpoint hammer. The shower in the office. I would like to get rid of that shower in the office because it is not the best use of space, but that is not my office, and I'm not going to tear out walls because I don't own the building. I already spent enough money on a building I don't own when I put in that other garage door. Yes, Troy was discussed earlier in the this live stream and the video from yesterday. It's titled "I Quit" on the thumbnail. We discussed Troy's departure from the shop in that video. But all is well. Yep, he was in the chat earlier. I don't know if he's still here. He might have left. He didn't say bye. Yep, Monte Carlo got the door fixed. What happened? So someone asked me more than once about that Monte Carlo. What happened is we pretty much did a complete restoration on an 07 Super Sport Monte Carlo, and we sent it off to have a wheel alignment done, and it wouldn't start. I guess the battery died while it was on the alignment rack. The dudes left the key on, and so they couldn't start the car. So they went to push the car out, but nobody helped the tech that was working on it. And so he pulled on it, like with the steering wheel, and left the door open. The car went off the ramp and gained some speed, and the door ran into the wall of the building, and it smashed up the door that had 2-day-old paint on it. So the body shop had to order another door, change the door, and then repaint the door because the other shop smashed the brand new paint job in. It's exactly what happens when you restore a car. Somebody wrecks into it. Cliff doing 105 miles per hour on Q-rated tires in a Jeep. Yeah, he does that. I told him not to do it. The 6.7, I remember that. That was not my 6.7, and the guy that owns it put it somewhere else because it had to leave my building. So no more 6-7. It's in another closet somewhere. Someone said goodbye to a troll. Was there a troll in here? I didn't see anybody throw anybody out. Cliff should have thrown him out. There should not be a troll here. This is a troll-free zone. I am the troll. So I do not accept unworthy challenges from lesser trolls. Do your worst. I think what did it is I started pinning the trolls. I'd pin their troll comments, and then they all just left. Life is a series of troll events. We're all just running around messing with each other. Hey, one of my customers just texted me. Oh, Matt, you're the one trolling me? Oh, okay. Yeah, don't troll me, dude. No, we take that seriously around here. You said you're a streamer now. I mean, not really, but I'm trying to not be camera shy. Matt's the guy that has it's that what color? It's not red. It's like the maroon 04 Chevy Suburban. Is there really a Troy Auto now? No, he doesn't have his own shop. No, he's got a logo and he's got some T-shirts and stuff, but he has not solidified a brick and mortar facility, to my knowledge. October 22nd is the 1 year at the shop. No way. Chuck knows. People actually thought that flux capacitor that Patrick's talking about, folks actually thought that I was really trying to convince them that the flux capacitor and that the diagnosis on the flux capacitor was real. And they did not pick up on the fact that that was a parody. And I was just having fun. Highest mileage car I've ever serviced. I had a Mustang once. I pulled up the data on the scan tool, and the ECM said that it had 10 million miles on it. Does that count? It didn't actually have 10 million, but the computer said it did. So I'm going to go with 10 million, according to the ECU. Highest mileage car, 10 million miles. What is a troll? A troll is a person that will show up and start disrupting the flow of reality and causing problems, and they'll run their mouth and they'll insult people just for the sake of getting a rise out of someone else. And they often know that they're wrong, but they will never, well, they do it deliberately just for the attention. That is what a troll is in a nutshell. I'm sure there's more to it, but that's kind of what I see what a troll is. So, Elaine, trolls are not good. Those are mean people. Yeah, trolls. Like under a bridge, you know, they come out and demand you pay them, or they harass you until you give them what they want. Yeah, troll. Yeah, Cliff's a troll. See, you can have good trolls. You can troll people to make them laugh. Like those are welcome trolls. I am a good troll. I mess with all kinds of people, but I think it's funny. I won't marry you. Sorry, I can't do that. You could be trolling me. So a troll is the alphabet soup. Yeah, I think there's something else. Nope. Yep. Chuck's close. Nope. See, those people aren't funny. Politicians in the IRS, they're not funny. Those are more like I can't say that. Never mind. I'm not going to say that. I'm being broadcast live on the internet. You guys know what I mean, though. Subaru is mostly finished. I need to put a different thermostat in it. Am I going to board up the door of death and put in an air conditioner? No, I'm not going to do that. There's things that could or that may or may not take place over the next year or so, which could dictate the configuration of the building. Put it that way. Can I zip tie the cable guide of a window regulator to the motor so it won't move around and break? You can probably zip tie the cable. Yeah. You can probably do that. It's either going to work or it's not. Scooby-Doo thermostat. Dang ads. You got an ad? There's a mid-roll ad? Seriously? I am 38 years young. I'm pushing 40. The rest of my peer group we're in the same place. You know, we're coming up on another decade. And for like the past, I don't know, for like the past year, I'm like, oh, I'm getting old. I feel old. I'm tired. I'm getting old. Oh, my knee hurts. I'm old. And I decided that I'm going to stop doing that because if I keep running around saying that I'm old, I'm basically going to manifest into my own reality that I feel old and I feel tired. And I don't want to be old and tired. So I am no longer referring to myself as old in any capacity. So I'm 38 and I am young, and I'm going to maintain that mental frame of mind. So I'm taking pry bar to life. There we go. Yeah, 40 is not old anyway. I still act like I'm 25, mostly. Hi, James. Thanks for the super chat, sir. Thank you. I assumed again, but I figure I can get away with that one. See, that was trolling right there. I'm trolling a narrative. Favorite cars to work on, the easiest ones. Those are the favorites. I like Diag stuff. Diag is fun because it's never the same thing twice. Yeah, YouTube Premium. If you have YouTube Premium, you don't watch ads. 4 ads. My dude's got 4 ads. Man, sorry, guys. I didn't turn off ads, but I didn't know they were going to shove them in there like that. I'm really sorry. Just skip past them. Wait, the YouTube Premium people are getting ads also? That's not part of the deal. Toyota. Hang on, I'm not following the context of the Toyota. JL, I need more context. I hearted you, but I don't know. What about it? Do you want me to troll a Toyota? I can troll Toyota. Y'all are giving me I got a bunch of like buttons for mentioning trolling Toyotas. They're like, oh, he's going to start picking on Scotty. Ray's about to troll Scotty here. Watch this. How often do I go live? I don't know. Every couple months, maybe. Cliff, I'll make you a deal. I will get Amazon Prime if you get YouTube Premium. Because I'm too cheap to pay for Prime, and Cliff is too cheap to pay for Premium. Troll the Kilmer. I can't. See, we think that Scotty Kilmore actually has like an army of counter trolls, or he has like 20 different accounts and he is the army of counter trolls. And anybody who has taken on Scotty Kilmore gets canceled, and no one can figure out why. Toyotas are the best for their target market, but they're not the best for everyone. Just like 1-ton trucks are the best for their target market, but not for everyone. Avalon or... Okay, eco mode and sport mode. Which is better for the Avalon? Okay, what that does, to my understanding, and every manufacturer's programming logic is going to be different. But those different drive modes, I think they affect shift points more than anything, and maybe a little bit of power output, and could be a couple other things. But those modes are for your driving style. So let's say you're in a hurry and you want to get somewhere fast and you want a bunch of acceleration. you may want to turn on sport mode. Or if you're just on a Sunday leisurely drive, hanging out, not really doing anything, and I'm going to troll you, like most Toyota Avalon owners do, like that, then you would be better off in eco mode, because you theoretically should not burn as much gasoline. So hence eco mode. And I did stick a little troll thing in there for you. But yeah, so I think that's preference. I would just not turn the button on or off and just leave it alone. Or I would turn on sport mode so the little eco leaf thing on the dash goes away to remind me to be environmentally friendly. I don't want to. The flatbed record truck. I don't know. I need to get all the stuff. I'm using it for storage. I need to get that stuff off of there because I'm not using the truck to do truck things. It's a storage parking lot. Eco mode, save the earth. Exactly. People are dying. Ecosystems are dying because you won't use eco mode on your Avalon. My show is your daily routine. Thank you. From Denmark. What's up? You get a heart too. I did not know I could heart the super chats until just now. And I'm going to start doing that. Jelly Bean, also from Europe. Drilled Brembos in the fronts and back, stock size, Brembo brakes. 180 horsepowers. Worth it or overkill? No. Nothing's ever overkill if you use it. And it's also not overkill if you want it. And you'll never be in a situation where overkill on your brakes is going to be a bad thing, I think. So you're good there. My show is your daily routine in New Zealand. Thank you. That is warming to hear because at first when I was making videos, I didn't realize that I was impacting people in a multitude of ways. Some people liked it because I don't use foul language, and some people liked it because they were in lockdowns and couldn't go outside, and I gave them comedic relief. I didn't even know I was funny. And then all of a sudden people started laughing at me, and I was like, okay, I'm bringing something to somebody. Then there were folks that were interested in the work that I do, and they got to learn something. So it's truly been a blessing for me to be able to reach out to people and touch their lives in ways I never thought possible. So I thank you guys for giving me the podium to do that with. You guys get mad at me when I don't post a video. I see a lot of folks in here. They're like, I look for you every day. And I usually post in the morning. Is it like a massive disappointment if I miss a video in the morning? JL, I will 100% put your license plate on my wall if you send me one. 100%. Every license plate that I have, with the exception of like 2 or 3 of them, were all donated by viewers. Chat's going super fast. Hang on. Hey, you guys, we have more like buttons in this chat than we do viewers in this chat. That's epic ratioed right there. What is my address to send a license plate? If you go to my channel page and go over to the About tab, at the bottom of the About tab, there is a P.O. box, and that is the address. That's the mailing address. Please do not send stuff to the shop address because mail has to change hands a couple times at my building. I will not let you work at my shop for free. We can't do that. We cannot do that. I can't conflate YouTube with the brick and mortar shop store. So I couldn't have somebody working at the shop that's not there to work at the shop. And folks that are there to work at the shop for free, it toes that line a little bit, and it makes me feel kind of awkward. So I really would not be able to have someone there, to help out and hang out and work and stuff, because it really does take away from what I have to do there. Well, are you qualified? Don't stop paying me to say that. Yeah, don't do that. I'm giving you a heart red hat, but yeah, no more. If you insist, do $1. Like, don't be a big baller, bro. We're not in the economy for big balling on super chats. Be cool. I do pay more than minimum wage, though. Are you qualified? Are you local? A lot of folks missed the phone. That was, I'm gonna tell you guys what, that doodly doo sound was a coping mechanism for the fact that some genius decided they need to put a loudspeaker outside in an area where there are no actual phones, at the other side of the building, away from the actual phones. So when the guy who's supposed to be answering the phones needs to know the phone is ringing, everyone in the building gets to hear the phone ring. And it was the most nonsensical placement of a loudspeaker that was turned all the way up that one could possibly imagine. It was almost like a situation where you're going, hey, let me try to emotionally damage everyone here with this loudspeaker. It's like someone tried to do it, because there's no other thing that came out of that situation besides emotional damage, which is why every time it rang and I'm going running around like an idiot, that was just me making fun of the fact that somebody has an IQ of like 36 that decided to put that loudspeaker over there. And that thing was like $500 too. They spent money on this. They spent a lot of money to do something stupid. And so that was my coping mechanism. I was trolling them at work. Exactly. I was trolling them with doodly doos. Emotional damage. Yeah. I have more than one PO. Yes, there is more than one post office box. Lauren, my wife unit, she also has a PO box that is much closer than my PO box, and that is around the corner. Her PO box address is also on her About tab. And the reason that I did not get rid of my PO box address, which was next to my last shop, was because they are a small local UPS store, and I did not want to have them lose a customer because I have one of their big spaces and it's like $60 a month or whatever. But I didn't want to just stop doing business with them because I moved to the next town over. So I kept my PO box and I still go over there and pick it up. I just wanted to maintain that relationship with the UPS store. I do not know if I'm going to hire another Padawan at this time. I tend to let the universe do its thing, and it will present to me opportunities. And when those opportunities show up, that is when that's when I may or may not decide to choose somebody. You don't like the USPS? I don't have a position on the USPS per se. I just did not want to stop doing business with the folks I was doing business with. But on that note, the other PO box is a actual USPS PO box. What happened to my torch? My torch. Yes, my torch. So I was torching something one day and I had welding gloves on, and I'm torching away and my torch wasn't running right, and I kept adjusting things and it just still wouldn't run right. And I was having a really hard time getting a clean cut with my torch set. And I looked down at the handle. I'm holding the torch. There's flame coming out of it. I looked down at the handle, and the entire handle was glowing red hot. And I didn't feel it because I had thick leather welding gloves on. But what had happened is somewhere in that handle where those two pieces were supposed to be press fit together, there was a leak, and it was letting air draw in. And because there was oxygen getting into that acetylene stream, the flame managed to migrate into the torch head, and it was burning inside of the torch head, which was really scary because it was probably moments away from traveling its way up the up the hose. And if it makes it to the tank and up the hose, then the tank gets to explode, and then there would be pieces of ray all over the place because of some a very, very cheaply unsafe made imported piece of crap torch that could have killed me one day. And so I immediately smashed it and threw it in the garbage after the flame well, the flame arresters, those are in the hoses, yes, but the head did not have an arrestor on it. And also the torch head could have melted in my hand, and then it could have also caught fire and blown up. Either way, I could have been very seriously hurt by a cheap piece of crap. And so I did not want to keep using it. So I broke it and I threw it away, and I've not replaced it because finding a good torch is hard to do. It's very hard to do. And there's no updates on the tow truck. New question. No updates on. It's not fine, Cliff. No updates on the tow truck because I haven't done anything with the tow truck. It kind of sidelined. I'll get around to it later. Yeah, it was like an immediate rapid self disassembly with that torch head, and so now I don't have one. Another new torch. Jelly Beans got it. Try to submit to get my Shelby worked on at your shop. Follow the directions. Never heard back from there. Is there a rejection letter? I don't know, Red Hat. I got to talk to my wife unit about that. Which email address did you send it to? You can type it in the chat. A Shelby. I'll work on your Shelby. Sorry, JL. I'm not in Cali. I've been there a couple times, but I'm not there. It's really far. I'm kind of bothered that I wasn't able to respond to Red Hat Maverick's request. I'm really sorry, man. Here, hang on. I'm going to hang on. My wife's going to be so mad at me for this. I'm going to give you guys my shop email address, but I'm going to redact it so it's not permanent, okay? Bearded Ford Tech can work on a Shelby. The Shelby is mine. Don't touch it. Hey, actually, you know what? I think A-Rod and Bearded Ford Tech should work on your Shelby. Because what kind? Let's get. Is it a good Shelby, or is it like the junkyard one that they pulled out of the river from what was that movie? Gone in 60 Seconds. Like, is it like a really primo one, or is it a meh? Because I'm thinking if we have a real Shelby, then the Ford guys should work on it, and we can totally do it at my shop. Just comment the email on his channel video. Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about, Cliff. Yeah, we can totally work on the Shelby. A Dodge Shelby. The GT 500. Is it Eleanor? I hope it's Eleanor. You had a Bearded Ford Tech had a short on an AC compressor for a Shelby, a white one. I didn't see that short, man. I didn't know you got a hold of one of those. I didn't know. What is a Dodge Shelby? Hang on, I got to look this up. A Dodge Shelby Charger. Oh, that. That's like an 80s. It looks like a Fox body Mustang, kind of. Is that right? I did not know that thing existed. I was completely unawares. Check my phone text, says Chris. Yeah, I know. Cliff won't let me. Well, I mean, Cliff, my email are posted. Yeah, you're right. This is why I have good moderators, because they keep me from doing things like doxing myself on the internet. We do not work for free. Nobody works for free. I will work on a Dodge Omni. Anthony B's got an Omni. All right, Red Hat Maverick. It's a 64 Shelby replica with a 454 in it on a 74 vet frame. Ford guys hate it. I love it. That sounds frightening. That does sound a little scary. I mean, it's worth a shot. What do you say, fellas? You want to work on a 64 replica Corvette Shelby with a big block? I'm scared to do it by myself, but I think we can do it. Thinking a new snake. I think we can do it. I don't see why not. I mean, no one seems to be jumping for joy over it. I mean, Beard to Vortex in. Yeah, sure. Why not? I'm game. All right, let's do it. Why not? Let's do it. Let's work on the Shelby. Now, the next challenge is you're going to have to email Lauren again at my shop and then get her. Here, hang on. I know I can put this email in. Sorry, Cliff. There. Email me at that email. And since you said you've already emailed the shop and it went unnoticed, forward your email to the Rainman Rays Repairs email and to my shop email, which I may not post on the internet. That way it's in both addresses. That way there's no way we're going to miss your contact info. And then we'll get hooked up with the Shelby, Mustang, Ford, Dodge, Corvette thing, whatever we got. We'll figure it out. Yeah, Corvette Shelby. What does that sticker on my hat say? What, this sticker? That's the brand of the hat. That's just who made it. I never took it off. Round eye GMT 800. Cat eye. Cat eye all day. The cat eyes were much better. I remember when when Chevy went from the round eye trucks to the cat eye trucks, everybody was like, "Oh, that's stupid. No, that's not how a car should look. It's all chiseled and sharp edges and blah blah blah." And that turned out to be a timeless body style, and everybody loves it. Do 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 do. There you go. I did not work on that Dodge Rampage again after the one time that I worked on that Rampage. It has left the state and went to college. I'm not going to work on a Dodge Coronet, though. Nope. Red Dog, when did you send a U-joint removal tool? It may have been a while since I went to the P.O. box. I haven't been there in a while. I only go like every month or two. Answer the phone! If I get more space, Scott, I will get an alignment rack. What do I think of Bud Light advertising? Next question, please. What happened to the Jeep? Which Jeep? Troy's Jeep? Troy took his Jeeps with him when he left. I will introduce Dave as Dave. Dave will dictate that. I introduced Dave in my video from yesterday. The thumbnail said I quit, and it had a picture of A-Rod from Power Stroke Tech Talk. He's right here in the chat. It had a picture of A-Rod and myself behind my truck, and the thumbnail said I quit. And I talked about Troy leaving in that video. I posted it yesterday, so it's my most recent video. Do I work on BMW or Mercedes? Next question. No. I'll some stuff. I don't like to diag the Europeans. They are written in a language that I am not familiar with. That was a metaphor, and they're just not my preferred technology. I could work on them. I prefer not to, case by case basis. If you want me to work on one, email me and let me know what you have, and then I'll see if it's something I can do or something I can't do. We need to talk about the new head unit on my Dirty Max. I have the whole interior torn out of my truck right now. We'll deal with that head unit thing later. .37 or a 4.0 Jeep. 4.0 all day. I don't really care for the 3.7s or the 4.7s for that matter. The Jeeps are gone. Troy owned the Jeep. The green one and the blue one, those were Troy's Jeeps. And when he left, he took his Jeeps with him. Aloha. Yep, evaporator replacement is next. BMW, break my wallet. That's like boat, break out another 1,000. Break my wallet. Oh, Project Jeep, the Wrangler. I finished that Wrangler. I fixed that car a long time ago. I gave it back to the guy. It has returned a couple times since I gave it back to the owner, but it's out riding around doing Jeep things. The Wrangler YJ that died on me, I forget which one that was. YJ that died. You mean Project Jeep? The white one? Yeah, it needed a fuel pump. That's why it died. I know the one you're talking about. Chevy 18. Hello. It was actually a really nice Jeep. Yep. Another one of those boat situations. Things like that, they cost some money. Ever work on a Mack truck? Nope, I'm not a heavy duty guy. Favorite generation of Corvette? I like the way that the when did they come back? 2003. They stopped production for 1 year, didn't they? And then they came back the next year. Anyway, I like the 03 ones. You know, the ones that had the fender that it had that little swoop thing that met with the mirrors. It was all streamlined and aerodynamic. I like those ones. Don't blow up. I will not blow myself up. Break out another 10,000 for a boat. Yeah, that's called inflation, sir. You can add a zero onto everything now. That's where we are. So boat used to be another 1,000. That was in the 90s. Now it's break out another 10,000. So if you have a $10,000 boat, it would cost $10,000 to fix it. That's what happens when we have too much money floating around for no reason. Inflation blue X1000. Yep. It's not really, well, see what it is that the dollar has been devalued. It's actually worth less, hence the term worthless. So things are not costing more. Goods are not costing more. And let's see, the services aren't costing more. The dollar is actually worth less. Someone says something about who I voted for. This has nothing to do with politics and votes. This is math. That is simple math. It doesn't matter what team of whatever political nonsense spectrum you're on. When you screw with the money system, it has consequences. It doesn't matter who does it. It's not political. It is math. And when your dollar is devalued, things cost more dollars because the dollar is worth less. And that's the term worthless. Worthless does not refer to an item. It refers to the value of the money that you're using to purchase it. Wyatt Earp. Yep, numbers. Exactly. It's all numbers and math. See, it's like I can toe that line of reaching politics, but we don't have to make it politics. It's something else. Fix on the coyote trick. I'm not a coyote guy. You're going to want to talk to one of the Ford guys about the coyote tick. I keep hearing that it's normal, and then I hear that it's not normal. Maybe Bearded Ford Tech knows, maybe CP's Garage knows, or maybe Power Stroke Tech Talk with A-Rod knows. I don't know. I'm not that fluent in the Ford tick to be able to give you. Yeah, see, it's normal. Bearded Ford Tech says it's normal. I understood it was normal, but I also understood that different oils can make it be more profound or less profound. No, Jim, we're not talking politics, Jim Bob. Nope. We were talking math. Nobody said anything about not any math. There can be math at any point in time because I solve problems for a living, and problems often require math. So don't act like you didn't know. What's the tick on the Vortec 5.3? Everything. The injectors tick. The injectors actually do tick a lot on those. You can get broken cats, and those will make ticking noises. Yep, I own my own shop, David. I got myself fired from a job about a year ago for my big mouth. I was talking about too much math. They fired me for my math skills, and so I went and got my own shop. Worldwide math, yep. Haven't you had any Mitsubishi? There's no Mitsubishis left. The math's not working out on Mitsubishis. I mean, no offense to Mitsubishi, but they didn't make microwaves and refrigerators very well, so I'm not sure how their cars are going to work out. Where can I buy a motor flush kit? What kind of flush kit do you want? See if you can go to Amazon and buy, get, what's it called? EPR from BG Products. You dump the stuff in your oil and run it for about 20 minutes before an oil change. And it's supposed to break up sludge, and then you just dump all your oil out and then put new oil in. That's a good flush kit to start with. Shelby officially submitted. Red Hat, thank you, sir. We will not neglect your request. In fact, we're probably going to get the fellas in town to tinker with it. It's not going to happen fast, I can tell you that. This is the end of the year. Things start to get crazy. Did you get your own Trapper Keeper? No, I did not get my own Trapper Keeper. The 80s called. I didn't realize that Trapper Keepers were around that long because I was making 90s jokes about Trapper Keepers, and then I think I said it on one of Lauren Wife Unit's videos, and the commenters were going, "Yeah, dude, we had those around since the 80s. You're showing your age here, Ray." A-Rod has a Trapper Keeper. The 4x4 lights come on. Excuse me. 4x4 lights come on randomly on 05 Escape. ABS activates randomly. Could be a cracked. It could be a cracked or a broken tone ring. It could be a faulty sensor that's dropping out right before you come to a stop. So what's happening is you're stopping, and if that sensor drops out due to a bad sensor or a loose connection or a faulty tone ring, the ABS module is saying, hey, we have a wheel lockup event here. And so it's going to actuate the pump, and it's going to ABS pump whatever wheel that is, and you're going to feel that feedback in your foot. So you've probably got, it's either a bad connection, bad sensor, or potentially a bad tone ring. Yeah, work on Subarus, kind of. Yeah, I can work on Subarus. I'm not Subaru fluent, but I can get through them. What happened to the bearing press? It's in the shop. I still have my bearing press. Samir, were you trolling people the other day? I was looking around the comment section, and somebody told on you, and they said you were not being very nice. Are you trolling people? If you are trolling people, you got to do it with at least some humor, okay? Don't hurt people's feelings. We're not trying to have a civil war in the comment section. Samir's like, I didn't do it. Ultimate P420 code, change the CAT O2 sensor and L-fuel sensor, blah, blah, blah. Oh, that one went fast. P420, you changed all the stuff and it's still there. Oh, did you put a cheapo aftermarket CAT on it? Because if you put a cheap CAT on it, the downstream O2 may not accept what that converter is doing. But if you changed all the parts and you still have the code, it probably needs further diag. And I lost your comment already. It's gone. Watching from Northern Ireland. I'm glad you like my videos, sir. Thank you. I assumed again, canceled. That's 3 strikes I'm out. Is sarcasm trolling? Moderately, yeah. Sarcasm, I mean, it could be. If it's directed sarcasm, and it's repeatedly directed, then yeah, that could be trolling. The most hated car to work on. I do not like the Buick Encores, those itty bitty little econo box Buick things that they made a few years ago. I don't like those. They are horrible. They're not built very well. Some folks like them, but they're not. I just hate the things. I had to do an evaporator core on one of them once, and they make you take the doors off because there's two big, huge bolts that go in the side of the dash, and you cannot take the bolts out of the car to get the dash out until you take the doors off. So you have to take the doors off, take the bolts out, take the dash out. And taking the dash out is already horrible enough. Now I have to do body work. I don't like the Buicks. And they had really crappy valve covers. Frank said, say his name. I feel like you're setting me up. You're screen recording me, Frank. I'm not going to take the bait. Nope. It's an odd request, Frank. Frank. Diesel transits suck. Yes, they do. Hey, A-Rod, I got a customer with a Ford Transit. I'm going to put some quick struts in it. Are you down? I told him you would do it. For those of you guys that don't know, you have to take the dash out of the Transits to change the struts. He said no. Bearded Vortex said no. You sure? He can kiss your grits, Nooch. My state flag looks like the St. Patrick's Cross. Let me Google that, see what it looks like. St. Patrick's Cross. Yes, it does. Remarkably similar. Closed all my windows. You'll quit on the spot for a Transit? Mm-hmm. 011 Dodge Avenger with a Pentastar oil cooler. Video. Yours failed. New one in. Okay, Penastars. Dorman, of all companies, has come up with the solution to the oil cooler on the Penastars, and they made an aluminum housing engine oil filter housing, or aluminum constructed in an oil filter housing. And that one is supposed to fix the cracking and leaking. So if you have a Pentastar 3.6, you're going to want to get the aluminum Dorman unit. That will fix it. No, Cliff, it's not troll time. Don't start. I'm trolling right now. Not you. I'm doing it. Oh, the brake clean. Yep. People get so mad at me for throwing the brake clean can across the shop. Someone said that they're going to call Child Protective Services on me because I'm going to throw the brake clean can and it's going to explode and it's going to kill one of my children because of the explosion. Yeah. But I think it's funny chucking the can across the room. I think it's hilarious. Exactly. It's stupid, so it's funny. I'm an AMSOIL dealer. That's my thoughts on AMSOIL. It's really good stuff. AMSOIL makes a fine product, and it's made domestically. Favorite flavor brake clean, the stuff that's not watered down. There's two versions of brake clean. There's cheap brake clean made out of water, and then there's actual brake clean. I like the actual brake clean, so I don't have to spray out a bunch of water and then go get another can. That's how they get you. Brake clean is the GOAT. You know, there are shops out there that do not let their employees have brake clean, and they expect them to do a good job and do not provide them the adequate tools to perform their job. Like all right, so let's say, and I'm not going to mention the company, but let's say you have a company and they go, wow, okay, we have, let's say brake clean is $5 a can. And we have 4 guys that work in the store. And if each guy uses 1 can a day, that's, Greg found it. That's 1 can a day. That's $20 per store. So that's $20 per store times 2,200 stores in the network. That's $44,000 per day in brake clean. And so the company decided that if we just don't buy brake clean, then we will save $44,000 per day. And we're just not going to take a look at the effects that has on the result that we produce for the customers that pay us more than $44,000 a day. And that's why the world is in the state of affairs that it's in right now, because people that don't know how to think are making decisions on brake clean when they shouldn't be. Well, I mean, that is a lot of money a day, but it's actually not. If you scale up 44 grand a day in product, that's not a lot of money if you're nationwide on 2,500 stores. That math does work. So it's not really a ton of money, because they're taking in, like, let's say you have 2,000 stores in your network, and each store brings in $12,000 a day in sales. You just took in $24 million today. So $44,000 is actually not a lot of money when you brought in 24 million. I've ruined your expectations for the car service. Sorry, I'm here to expose things. The truth will always prevail. Dudes, I'm so sorry that the ads are bombarding you. Hey, who redacted a message? Whoa, what was that? I'm going to go back and see what you said. Oh, I can't. Antonio. Red or green chilies taste better? I don't know. I can't. Red. We're going to go red. Aruba. Dang. Manuel is from Aruba. Bean counters. Yep, exactly. Das Auto is gut, yeah? Was that it, Antonio? You got it? Das Auto, yeah? Oh, people were so mad at me. I started calling everything German Das Auto, and back in the day, they're like, that's only for Volkswagens. You can't call something else a Das Auto. That's Volkswagen only. And I'm like, I could plagiarize anybody's catchphrase if I want to. It's free speech, man. Guys, I'm really sorry about the ad frequency. I don't know why they're doing that to you. I don't know. Maybe if you watch one ad, they'll stop sending you ads, because I didn't place ads on this. I didn't do that. And I don't like it that you guys are getting bombarded with, it's the bean counters. That's what it is. The bean counters at Google Land were like, hey, let's send some ads. Bearded Fortech, please do me the honors of correcting my brake clean math at $5 per can, 4 employees per store, 1 can per day times 2,200 stores. How many dollars a month or a day is that in brake clean? If my math did not math, please check that for me. I have not gotten one ad since we started. Okay, so Bearded Fortech, it's $5 per can times 4 employees. So that's 5 times 4. That's $20 in brake clean per store. Oh, the toilet paper math isn't mathing? Oh, sorry. I thought we were on brake clean. Well, who was doing toilet paper math? I must have missed something somewhere. Did you guys ever put brake clean on your toilet paper? Don't do it. Don't do it. The dangers of breathing aerosol brake clean spray are real. Mark is right. You do not want to breathe brake clean. And a little known fact, when I'm sitting there going crossing the streams on my brake clean, I have a fan like right behind me, and it is blowing the brake clean away from me, and I am not breathing in brake clean spray at all. I'm not ingesting it. I'm not inhaling it. I'm certainly not catching a buzz off of it. And I want nothing to do with it because it'll make you sick and nauseous, and it's not good. And it ruins the brain cells in your cranium. Brake clean to wash your teeth. Paper towel math is worse. My dealership took away our blue paper towels because same concept as the brake clean. They said that we were using too many towels to clean things with. And so they forbid us to pull blue towels from the parts department. And so then I proceeded to go and purchase my own blue towels. And then I got kind of in trouble for having blue towels because somebody had made the assumption of thinking that I deliberately disobeyed them and pulled parts or pulled the towels from the parts department, which in fact I had purchased my own. So I got in trouble for buying my own shop supplies at a place that I worked at once. And that is a direct failure of management who fails to communicate. I cannot do Russian accent voice for too long. I feel if I do, I may be subject to cancellation. Because right now, the Russians are public enemy number one. I say this in Russian accent voice as I'm reading text messages. What is problem? Southern accent voice. Only if I'm drinking in Tennessee. I actually have a Southern drawl. I acquired it once upon a time when I lived in Georgia, but it has been superseded by an evolved Southern drawl that came from the Florida dialect, and I now think I only speak Florida, which appears to be a more powerful accent than a Southern drawl. So I do have a Southern drawl, and I can use it, but that requires beer, and it also requires me to be in a Southern state with other people in conversation, and then the accent will come back out. But I can't turn that one on. Where's the Heineken? I don't have any. Speak Florida, not Florida man. I just talk like me. I'm just me. Matt, that's can't say that. I'm gonna delete that. Daddy. Yeah, baby. Hang on, don't come on the internet. No, you're not supposed to be on the internet. Nope. I know. Oh goodness. Is she okay? What's the matter?
She wants to eat dinner.
Hang on, sorry guys. Hang on.
I want her to eat dinner and she doesn't want to eat.
Oh, honey, you got to eat your dinners, okay? What do you want on it?
No sauce.
Can she have sauce on the side?
She doesn't want sauce.
No. Okay.
Okay, no sauce.
No, she's emotional. Poor baby. No, that's the hook. She wants TV. All right, I'm back. We're on a no screen kind of thing, and she's not emotionally dealing with no screens. Florida is a Midwestern accent. Yeah, I'm back on track now. Yeah, Florida is kind of we have a mismatch. No alien music. Yeah, we have a mismatch of a lot of people here. So, I don't know. I think our accents come from all kinds of places. You mad, lad? I'm not mad. Killing Cost Gaming. How about head to work? Do what you think about putting part numbers into the videos? Nah. Trouble finding the oil cooler. Okay. Part numbers. I never really thought about putting part numbers in videos. I've dabbled with it from time to time, and I've also noticed that people will skip any scene where I'm reading off a part number. So I try to not think about it. Hey, listen, I can't tell you guys how old my kids are. There's just too much info there. Sorry. They're youngins, but I can't tell you. Sorry, Viper. but they're wee little ones. It's almost Aussie the way that I talk. So, okay. So, no, I'm not originally from Florida. I was born in South Carolina. I grew up north. I lived in 2 northern states. I lived in 2 Midwestern states. And I lived in Florida and then 1 other southern state. And I'm not going to name those either because there's enough information there to kind of track somebody around. So I don't want to get doxxed. But Pacific Ocean once upon a time as well for a little over a year. So I have had influence from accents almost all around the country and from outside of the country. And because of that, I think that having exposure to all those different accents has caused me to have my own kind of unique little bit of an accent because I've made an effort to assimilate my speech patterns based on those who are around me. For example, you can't go to New York City with a Tennessee Southern drawl because then everyone's just going to look at you like you're weird, or they'll rob you. Merc and mushmouth? No, I don't think so. It's I believe I speak quite eloquently. Thank you. It's not mushmouth. Actually, did you guys know that the Southern accents stem from English and from French influence, like Louisiana, for example? Louisiana has an incredible amount of Southern, like New Orleans. They have an incredible amount of Southern, not meth mouth, French influence in Southern Louisiana. And most folks don't know that those accents came from overseas. Yeah, hillbillies are English. Absolutely, 100%. Facts. Midwesterners don't have any accents. They're just blah. Yeah, Cajuns. I've never been to the Outback. I don't render enough. I don't have enough experience to render an opinion. I think when I think of the Outback down under, I think of Mad Max. Kentucky for the win. Cliff, you're not a hill. Yeah, actually, yeah, Cliff is a hillbilly. Yeah, you are. I know where you're from. Oh, did Power Stroke Tech Talk hurt someone's feelings and get in trouble at work? Is that what happened, Aaron? Did you step on somebody's little toesies? Hey, again, you guys, I'm really sorry that YouTube is dumping all these ads on us out of nowhere. It's not supposed to do that. Lafayette, right? Is that how I say it? Lafayette? You can't say that either, Aaron. Yeah, you can't say that. I'm deleting you, bro. I'm deleting you. I'm removing your comment. I just deleted the comment from one of my moderators for running their mouths. You can't be doing that, bro. You're gonna get in trouble. You're all gonna get blocked. Oh, Bearded Vortex says it automatically does it during lives now. Okay. I'm serious. I think if you watch one of them, it will stop doing that. Like, I think it'll stop. Your French side could be, I can't say that word. Huguenot? Gabino? Dirty Harry. You lost your job on 9/30, 38 years. Where were you working, man? Did you get laid off because of the strike? Joseph Martin has 0 ads. Sorry you guys are getting bombarded with the ads again. There's a lot of that going on. I'm telling you, premium, it's almost worth paying them the $11 to not bother you. Plus, the cool thing is with YouTube Premium, and I'm not trying to sell it, don't take it the wrong way, but I have it. That's why I'm going to say this, is you can actually minimize your YouTube and you can not watch the video, but you can still hear the audio in the background. So let's say you're watching a video and you want to pull up your, your calculator or whatever. You can minimize the YouTube and it'll still continue to play while you pull your calculator up or whatever you want to do, send a text message even, and then it doesn't stop your video. That's one of the other cool features about the YouTube Premium. You always get ads during That sounds wrong when I say it, and they should not be putting ads in during the money shot. That's like the best part, and you can't ruin it at the end. God. YouTube has no sense of humor. You pay $7.99, bro? What? It's like $11 now, isn't it? You must be grandfathered into the cheap rate. Money shot, dude. All right, Troy, are you still here, man? I want to make fun of you for a second. I'm assuming he's gone. So I'd be working with Troy, and we would do something, and he would be like, money shot. And I'm like, no, this situation doesn't apply to the money shot phrase. And then I was like, do you know where money shot comes from? And he's like, no. And I was like, you should really not say that very much, because it's kind of a sour joke that's gone on too long. But yeah, I told Troy to stop saying money shot, because I don't think he knows what it means. I mean, anybody who's... I'm going to stop talking. Boogie Nights, that's what it is. There's a movie called Boogie Nights with Heather Graham in it, and I think that's where you can learn what a money shot is. If you know, you know. We were all young once. Yeah, he doesn't know what it is. He just kept saying it, man. Greenville, South Carolina. I know where Greenville, South Carolina is. I know exactly where you are. Been there. Been there a few times. Yep, there's no beer commercials here. Fifth Gen knows what's up. Yep, they get paid for inserting ads. That's how the whole party goes on. Advertisers will buy advertiser space, and then they will use that advertiser space to market their products, and that's what they pay for. They pay for marketing. It's just like a commercial when you used to watch TV. Commercials would show up. You'd have to learn about 877 Cash Now and 1-800-GARY and all this other crap. And they paid for advertiser space, and YouTube does the same thing. But if you pay them their $8 or $11 or whatever, then they won't advertise to you. How does my body hold up with the work that I do? It will hurt you. It's constant fatigue, and you have to be cognizant of it in order to not just overly fatigue yourself. It's actually not easy. You're outside all day. It's hot outside. You have to pick things up, hit stuff with hammers. Yeah, you can. It can be very taxing on the body if you're not aware of it, and it's still taxing on the body even if you are aware of it. Hey, what is a quid? Someone said 30 quid you earn from YouTube. YouTube takes 10. Yeah, they take their cut, but they're also giving you a platform to earn revenue on. So they built the system. But what is a quid? Is that like our version of a penny, or is it like a dollar, or is that it? Because I understood that you guys have the pound. So what is a quid in relation to a pound? Is it the same thing? You just call it a quid? Okay, got it. It's the pound. Okay, so that's just y'all's nickname for UK slang. Got it. Okay, 30 quid. 1 British sterling. A quid is a buck. Got it. Yo, comprendo. $15 a month for your YouTube Premium. So are you saying they're charging us different amounts of money for YouTube Premium? No standards. Tea and crumpets. No way. They're charging us different amounts of money. Y'all is plural. Did you know that y'all and you all are both equally incorrect? Because if you were to address multiple people, you could say you, and you implies everybody who bears witness to the speaker. And so saying you all, the all is not necessary. Therefore, saying y'all is a slang term of you all, which is improper English. So you all and y'all are actually incorrect if you would care to speak properly. Yearns, Ewans. You could say Ewans and yearns and y'alls and Grammar Gravity. Grammar has left the chat. Lunar Trigger, love the channel. You sound look like a lot like your buddy Ivan, also a mechanic. Yes, it is rewarding, can be. It's stressful, and it will take its toll if you let it destroy your soul. Very true. Family account for YouTube Premium, $26 a month. Wow, they're big ballers at YouTube. Y'all come back now, you hear? What's my thought on the Rumble platform? I tried to make a Rumble account, and it will not let me upload long videos. So I don't have much of a thought. 4 minutes for the ads, man. Dudes, I'm sorry, guys. I didn't. That's too much. Like, I mean, on a regular long form video, they place them like between 6 and 12 minutes, I think, somewhere in there. But every 4 minutes is insanity. Ever watched the 24 Hours of Le Mans? That's a long time to stay awake. I have seen the 24-hour endurance run. I have, yeah. Never tried to Discord. Nope. Loso, I need a video and a long one once a day. It's really hard to make hour-long videos 7 days a week. That's really, really hard to do. That is a full-time job doing that kind of production. Our parts stores are not the hugest. They don't stock everything. You'd be surprised at what you cannot get at a parts store. I'm not supposed to talk about money. I mean, it's not that it's a rule, but it's not a good look to talk about YouTube money or anything like that. But I make more at the shop. There was a video somewhere they said I make. Somebody did like one of those tribute or the shocking truth about so and so, and they told me that I make $20,000 a day on YouTube. That's there was a report of that, which is that'd be really cool because then Cliff and I could have a boat. But no, those stupid videos for views are wrong. Yeah, YouTube does let you skip the ads. Yep, you can skip them. Bottom right-hand corner, there's little skip things. Except for, if you're on TV, I don't think you can skip them on your TV. When do I get time to edit and sleep? That's actually a really good question. So I don't do any. The only thing I do when I'm at the shop and I'm working is I'll set my GoPro up on the little flexi thing, and I will film and talk to myself. And then what I've got to do is I need to download that footage off of the GoPro. So I do that on my ride home. And then once I get home, I pretend I have a normal life and I hang out with the kids and take a shower and eat dinner and watch TV and do whatever. Then once they go to sleep, I go and do an edit. And I'm usually up till about 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, finishing whatever video I was making from whenever before. Then the next day I spill over to the next video and then the next one and the next one. So I squeeze it all in with a very tightly regimented time frame. That way everybody gets everything gets the appropriate amount of attention, and I'm not neglecting my family, or I'm not burning down my shop, or my house isn't falling down. Everything. It's a lot of work, yeah. And then I don't do any editing on the weekends. That's when we go out and we'll go to church on Sunday morning, or we'll go shopping on Saturday, or we'll go hang out with friends. Yeah, I sleep late. I also don't get up extremely early. I get up. I'm not a 6 a.m. riser. I get up like 9:30, 9 o'clock, and then I get to work at 10. But I leave the shop at 6, so I still put in my 8-hour day at my shop, and then the rest of it comes after that. Hourly rate is $125 an hour. Everyone says I'm too cheap, but I think that's fair. I only work one-handed after all, so I can't charge the normal rate of like $180 an hour if I'm only using one hand. Which Arco? Arco, are you in here? Aaron said an Arco. He responded to Arco. Yeah, that is Arco. What's up, buddy? I was thinking about you the other day. Yeah, no, I'm not air hammering on a seal. No, sir. Negative, Ghost Rider. My diet? Coffee! Lots and lots of coffee. Yeah, I try to keep the whole foods, processed food to a minimum. I like bacon. I'll eat plenty of bread. I don't know, lunch meat, chicken, potato products. Like I really like hash browns. Pizza on occasion. Lauren, my wife Una, is Italian, so she creates Italian delicacies like spaghetti and linguine and lasagna. Eggs Benedict, that's what's up, A-Rod. Eggs Benedict for the win. Love me some hollandaise. Pineapples, no. I see what you're getting at there. No, I'm not that kind of a pineapple person. I will consume the food pineapple, but I don't decorate with pineapple. You know what I mean? What was the hardest job to video? There's no one specific hardest job to video, but I'll tell you what the hardest part is a day full of distractions. And what I mean by that is there are days, no, I'm not a swinger. You think I'm going to share my wife unit with somebody else? No, I don't think so. Wrong. No, that one's mine, dude. I'm sharing her. But anyway, the hardest days are the days where vendors are walking in, or I've got 3 or 4 people that are picking up a car right around the same time, or there's 3 or 4 people dropping off a car right around the same time. It's the days when I can't focus on doing any work because I have to work on the business, and I don't have the time to work in the business. So what'll happen is I'm distracted with administrative stuff all day. I'll talk to vendors and talk to customers, trying to find where some parts are. I'm trying to build work orders, trying to sell jobs. And so I can't do any actual work out in the shop when I'm doing activities where I'm working on the business. And those are the hardest days because I'm literally doing 2 things with my head at the same time. And both of those have almost nothing to do with each other. So it can be mentally taxing. €39 an hour as a tool maker. Was that euros or pounds? I think your pounds. Should be pounds too. Hello, Iowa. It does disrupt business and focus. West Texas News knows what's up. Any jobs I regretted having on camera? Nope. No, there was one guy. His car ended up getting a lot of attention on a video, and he got really, really pissed about it. He showed up and was like, I didn't realize that when you said you were going to do this, that, and the other, 200,000 people were going to see my car, and my car is a sleeper, and now everyone knows at the track what I got under the hood and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, your car is not that fast, man. It was like a Cutlass or something. And he was just really mad. I think because somebody made fun of him and he got a little hurt in the feelings. Can I change the rear main seal on a 99 Jeep TJ without removing the front axle? I don't see why not. You got to pull the transmission out of it. But I don't think you have to pull the front axle out of a Jeep to pull the transmission out. No. The axle is that runs horizontally with all your steering linkage and stuff. So no, you don't have to pull that out, dude. Steve B owned his business for 40 years. Yep. Sold it to the employees, and they found out. Yeah, it's not. There's more to it. Chat slowed down. Why your GoPro overheats so much? Let me see if I have one of the things here. No, I don't. Okay, so my GoPros have an external microphone on them, which it like opens up and then the camera slides inside. So that's an insulating layer right there. They don't have heat sinks on them, which is why they get hot. And it's hot in Florida, which is also why they get hot. And sometimes if there's no airflow and I'm recording for any extended period of time, the heat just keeps climbing and climbing and climbing until it decides to turn off. And that's just GoPros doing GoPro things. Milwaukee for the win on the power tools. I gotta say it. Yeah, it's I have become Team Red. I found a video on the internet the other day. Somebody took a Milwaukee drill and they took a DeWalt drill and they hooked the two together and then zip tied the triggers. That at the same time they slapped batteries in both units and both of the drills just started going. And the video was like themed, Milwaukee versus DeWalt fight to the death. And the drills just sat there and flopped around attached to each other with full batteries until the DeWalt drill broke in half. It was really cool. A Gravity T-shirt? Would you like one, Todd? I can come up with a new T-shirt design. I can put some Gravity on it. You just wanted to say Gravity, or should I put a logo or something like that? Royal Entertainment. Thank you, sir, for the compliment. The largest socket that I own, I got like some big, like heavy duty, like 3-inch sockets. I have some very, very large sockets. I never use them, but I got them. Ave will tell you what is inside of those drills. Yes, he will. 100%. I love that guy. I have not professionally worked on heavy machinery. I've fixed a thing or two, but not as a job. Nope. Mm-hmm. Rear axle 1500, 2 different bearings. Dwayne has a rear axle of the 1500 with 2 different bearings. That's weird. On the left side and the right side. Was it? Did they shove an axle saver bearing in there? Maybe it's like an offset bearing with an offset seal. It's in case you let your bearing blow up and it ruined the axle. You can like put a scratch in the axle. You get what's called an axle saver bearing, which is a completely different looking design, but it offsets everything. So you can still run the old axle even though it's damaged with a new bearing and a new seal. Is that what you have? Because I find it odd that there would be 2 different bearings on the same axle for no reason. Words, T-shirts. What year Duramax engine is better? That's a matter of perception. I like my 07, actually 06, because it's the pre-emissions. It's not really pre-emissions. It has an EGR, but it's the pre-exhaust filter version, and it's the pre-def. So I kind of prefer those because they stopped. Well, those other emissions packages, they tend to choke out some things on the engines, and they were a little problematic at first. So I like my older stuff, but I don't really know if there's a good, better, and a best. It's different technology from different eras. Gravity T-shirt with a flashlight falling. That's a good one. That's the cool thing, Paul. You don't have to know about cars to hang out and have a good time, because not everybody knows everything. I don't know everything about cars either, but I still keep doing it. But I'm glad you like it here. Oh, updates on the Monte Carlo. I finished it, and after we fixed the door, after the alignment shop wrecked the car, then Yeah, it's I gave it back to the guy that owns it. He's driving it around. The tow truck is hanging out in the parking lot at my shop. I still have some building materials on top of it. I just need to clean it off and then get it ready to be operable again. I don't have an induction heater, Chuck, because I have had induction heaters in the past and they never worked. And I regretted every one that I ever bought because it made the bolts warm. And that's why I don't have one, because they're not heaters, they're warmers. Or maybe they're better now than what they were, and they make them now that'll get the thing cherry red hot. But in my past experience, I've been tainted by induction heaters, and therefore I have turned away from them. Can you delete the AFM on your LS3 Caprice? Probably. You got to pull the heads off and change the lifters and the camshafts. And since it's it could be fun. You can delete it. OxyTorch works the best. Yes, it does. Guys, we're coming up on almost 2.5 hours. I'm going to sign out here in a little while. I think we have like 8 minutes left. I'm going to get out of here before 2.5 hours. We're 2 hours and 21 minutes and 44 seconds. Yeah, we've been here a while. Somebody mentioned dinner, and I'm getting hungry too. The sun's going down. A plasma cutter would be really cool. I want one. Antonio, oil change on a tow truck video. Well, ooh, I don't know what I named that one. If you go to the page and you look up, just type in Cat 3126, and somewhere in Cat 3126, it should find that video where I changed the oil on it. Because I know every video that I did on that truck, I put the engine type in it. Am I a Ron Paul libertarian? What is a Ron Paul libertarian? I know what a libertarian is, but what's a Ron Paul? Thank you, DHL driver. Thank you, sir. Stay safe out there. I'm trying to heart your comment. It keeps going away. Crown Vics are fantastic. Those are excellent cars because they are reliable, and they made millions of them, and there are parts everywhere. And the Crown Vics are going to be the car that survives the apocalypse because there are so many pieces for those things out there that we're never going to run out. I thought about vinyl floor in the truck, but I didn't want to turn it into a RoboCop mobile. I wanted something nice inside. I wanted carpet. That's why I didn't do the vinyl. Now, I can put big vinyl floor mats over my carpet, but at the end of the day, I wanted to keep the carpet there. Yeah, and Cletus has 100 of those Crown Vics. They're everywhere. Come here, go dog. The dog's whining. Come here, baby. You okay? You just need some attention. Here she is. Look at the baby. Oh, goodness. Are you okay? What are you crying for? I think the cat is intimidating the dog. I think that's what's going on here. You're welcome for the Amazon links to the tools. I'm glad they worked out for you. What Dennis is talking about is whenever I'm using a tool that I feel like folks will ask me about, stuff at Pet Anarchy, I'll look for it on Amazon. I'll put links in there. So in the video descriptions, if anybody wants to pick up that tool, I have located it for you. Commissioned earned, though, for real. I get a cut every time someone uses my Amazon link. Not gonna lie. So it's like a win-win. You guys get hooked up with the tool. Her name is Luna. and then I get like 3%. Do I have a page? What kind of page? Like I have a YouTube page. I have a web page. Yes, I do have a website. It is the exact same as the channel.com, rainmanraysrepairs.com. That is my website. It's still halfway under construction. There's more stuff going on, but it does exist. I do not own the building and the property. No, Ron, I do not. No, I would like to, but there's extra zeros on that price tag, and I don't even know if it's for sale. Hey, you guys keep watching. I'll keep doing what I'm doing. And thank you for the super chats. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Timothy. William the Wise. I know your name doesn't say William Wise, or it says William Wise, but I'm going to call you William the Wise. That sounds much more distinguished. Yes. 4 minutes left, guys. I'm calling it at 2.5 hours. Yeah. Steve cheated. He's got one ad in 2.5 hours. You better watch it. Everybody else had to suffer through him, Steve. You better watch that ad. Set up a buy me a coffee PayPal and they don't steal your money. I don't really care to put a PayPal link on there. Like I put up a Patreon because folks wanted to donate and asked me to do it, but I feel like it's almost like internet panhandling. You know what I mean? I would love an alignment rack in the shop, but I don't have the space. I just don't have space for it right now. Go to dinner so you can eat. Chuck's waiting for me to leave so he can. Thanks for the super chat, Rex. He wants to go eat, so he wants me to go. I'll hang up in a minute. We got 3 minutes left. I'm going to close it out right at 2.5 hours. That sounds fair, right? I think so. A Western Australian number plate. Yeah, I do have a number plate from New Zealand. I don't think I have one from Australia. I might. I'll have to check. Anthony, thanks for the super chat. JL, thank you. 0 ads started. No premium either. Really? Yeah, Nate's not getting ads either. There's a lot of folks not getting ads. Do I ride bikes like motorcycles? Not anymore. I don't ride anymore. I still have my bike and it is in storage, but I don't ride anymore. I'll do I'll tell you what, I'll save that one for the next time I do a live stream. All right, we're coming up on the 1.5 minute mark. Let's see. Joseph, thank you, sir. Thank you. Appreciate the super chat. That's all break clean money. Maybe beer money. Yeah. You're welcome, guys. I really appreciate you guys all being here. There's been over 1,000 folks in this live stream since we started consistently, and that's really cool. I really appreciate you guys taking the time. Yeah, ad blockers are killing it. Yep, that's the way to go. Yep, dinner time. All right, guys, we're hanging up. I think we're all done. We've been here a couple hours. Appreciate everybody for being here. Have a great day. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm out. Hanging up. Into transmission. See you guys later. Bye.